Welcome back to Privy. Privy is a podcast about bathrooms, recorded from my home bathroom. I'm your host, Hunter Hoover, and I love bathrooms. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for being here, and happy Privy Christmas. We've made it. If you're listening to this episode on day of release, it's Christmas morn. Hopefully you've yanked open your packages. You're bundled up in your PJammies, and hopefully Santa visited you, because this is the thing. Here's the deal. We're on kind of a long-term trip to try to get back on Santa's good side. I admit I confessed my sins of years past, and I told you all to ex-lax Santa 4 years ago. And while that was a terrible mistake, I will admit that I'm trying to return from that. I'm trying to come back from it. And so, this year, hopefully you left out good stuff for Santa, good things for him. And in celebration of this Christmas season, I'm going to, at long last, it's been a long time coming. It's been a difficult thing for me to endeavor into. I thought recording, you'll notice, those who are joining on video, I'm back in home studio, AKA the brown zone. But I thought if I recorded in a remote location last year that I would be safe. And I was interrupted by Jingle the elf. And, he shared a lot about his union and his desire to unionize the North Pole. And I haven't heard much word from Jingle. And so I assume maybe things have gotten better. That's what I'm going to tell myself. I'm not sure if our efforts here on the pod were helpful to him, but I've given up hiding, and I think that because we've kind of tried to help the elf lot up in the North Pole, I think I'm safe and away from those who might be able to track me down here in home studio. And so I'm going to endeavor once again to bring you Hunty Hoovy's Christmas Flavor Blast Treat List Ranked Extraordinaire. It's been a long time coming, and every year, I try to launch into my top seasonal holiday treats. And so as a reminder, I'm a big fan of Divinity. It's tough to make, but it's just a classic. And that's gotta be pretty high on the list. Also, and this is where I I I'm not sure if I need to, Christmas cookies are not exactly my jam all the time. And so it's one of those where it's they're fine, they don't make the list. But one of the things that is truly on the list, and every time I have to say, it's fudge, but specifically fudge with nuts is it's just
Hey,
no.
hey, yeah, hey, what's going on?
No.
What's up?
How did you find me?
I've been around. I've been here.
Have you been on this? This is the first time that I've had. Are you an elf? Is that
Yes, I'm an elf. I'm Bluto the elf.
Bluto the elf? Okay, this is Bluto. This is the first time that my remote recording has been hijacked. Are you in the North Pole?
Yeah. Of course I am. I'm hanging out, and just had some stuff I wanted to talk and
I
see
locked
what's
the
going on here. I've always been interested in this, what you got going on here, and
I
have some
locked
things I want to talk about.
I locked the doors. I thought I was safe, but it turns out that ever since I've begun using my new, apparently the North Pole can jack right into the record. I'm not sure, Bluto. But welcome. Can I ask Bluto the elf? Can I ask what makes you pipe into the recording? I was just doing our Christmas extravaganza, and yeah, you're piped in here. What made you stop by? You said you're just interested. I'm lost for words.
We've been having a little trouble here, and I just kind of wanted to get stuff brought to the light of what's going on.
My
I
God.
have some concerns, and you know how it is. And I saw this, with today's technology and how crazy we do with all this technology and stuff. I figured out a way to It wouldn't be a problem just to stop in and see if we can have a little conversation, if you don't mind, about some issues that have been growing up there in that old North Pole. It's just a
Yeah.
friendly little conversation that I need there.
Bluto, last year I talked to one of your fellow elves, Dingle, and he also had a lot of concerns, but yeah, what's some of the things I guess, what's going on up there? Like, is Santa made things any better for y'all?
Well, that's kind of what I wanted to speak on. And, yeah, my buddy, yeah, God, and that old elf for that buddy of mine, he's trying to do some things, some movements up there for sure, for sure. But well, you got same things going on for millennia and millennia. It's hard to budge
Yeah.
in the right direction. But you know, um, there's a little reindeer out there. That's my biggest concern and my biggest thing I wanted to bring up. Just see if I'd get your point of view. You being this broadcaster that can do all this shenanigans with getting news out, I
Yeah.
wanted to see if you ever hear of there's a little reindeer and and all this stuff. He's
Is Rudolph?
Rudolph, that's his name. You heard of old Rudolph, haven't you?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I really
You
liked the
know.
documentary.
Oh, the documentary. Yeah, yeah. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. What a joy that was to the children and the families out there, for everyone thinking it's all happy-go-lucky and all hunky-dory. Boy, I'll tell you, that was yep. That's kind of the issue we're having here, though. Is
Oh.
it seems like it's all this fancy and happy-go-lucky glory day, isn't it? Just a good kids movie, isn't it?
Yeah, but are you not here on behalf of Rudolph?
No, 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 no.
Oh.
Actually, that's what I came to talk about. There's another little reindeer that kind of got left out of the picture, so to speak. Left out of
Oh.
the, you had Donner, Vixen, Blitzen, all this guy, Cornelius, or whatever that was. Yeah, screen.
Oh,
Oh,
dude.
he just ate up
Yeah.
that movie, didn't he?
One of my favorite parts of the documentary is when Cornelius Yukon, he just licks his pickaxe and just gets right up on that thing. It's my favorite part.
Oh, is it? Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, I bet. That sounds like something that would be a good joy. Oh yeah, won't you know it? But you know what? You know what been a better little scenario there, besides having this Cornelius licking his pickaxe.
Yeah.
He was stuck in the bathroom during most of the thing. He's an old buddy of mine. His name too. His name is actually, coincidentally, if you believe it or not, his name is Bluto. And he's
Bl-
a reindeer. You ever heard of him?
I haven't. Bluto the reindeer.
Yeah. He really got the short end of the stick on this movie because, considering the fact he wasn't in it.
Yeah, you're right, because I totally missed him. So Bluto the reindeer, he's how does he come into the picture?
Oh, that poor son of a gun. He's had it rough these past years. He did good maintenance. He's always keeping them bathrooms clean, but never getting that screen time when a show comes about. But all that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, oh boy, he gets all the glory. So, well, Bluto, he kind of got the picture stolen from him a little
Yeah.
bit. He's a reindeer. He's a
Yeah.
reindeer that puts his life and heart into everything he does, and only to get put into the Santa's storage room, when these cameras start going and they start doing this documentary. He has a special ability like Rudolph, except his balls, his jingly bits, they glow blue.
Oh,
And I feel like
gosh.
he should have been the one to have a little more action time on there, and
It
do
sound
more of what Rudolph should have done in the first
Yeah.
place.
It sounds like Bluto needed some more action.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wait, Bluto, the blue-balled reindeer, would that be correct to say?
Yep, Bluto the blue-balled reindeer. That was his name when he was given by his buddies, his best friend in school, Bluto the blue-balled reindeer.
So, okay. And so Bluto the reindeer, Bluto the elf, are here on behalf of Bluto the blue-balled reindeer. to
Yeah.
argue that he should have seen more action like in the documentary, or do you think like I don't know, it's kind of tough because Rudolph kind of saved Christmas that one time. It's hard to make a case. I mean, I'm not against Bluto, but it's like there's something about a glowing red nose leading the sleigh that's it kind of captures the hearts and minds of the masses. Maybe has Bluto ever contributed to Santa's sleigh adventures or
If you could, if you could imagine here for a moment when we were doing our test runs for which would be the best outcome, which they left out of the movie, of course. But
right?
when I'm flying over, there is a going down yonder, down on the ground, and it's like a spotlight. So, you see a
Oh,
house that you might miss, or if there's a chimney that, is covered by a snowstorm, the blue ball can cut through that snowstorm and
yeah,
smoke us out
okay.
that, oh crap, that old Timmy's house. Good thing old blue balls was here to, but no, they didn't say that is valuable. I couldn't believe it. I'm
It's
like,
like a
dang it.
it's like a
I mean, I'm saying that I couldn't believe it, in behalf of my buddy Bluto,
yeah,
my
what?
old, and just let me say, I'm an older elf, and I helped old Bluto out. So that's why they named him after me because I was really close to old
Oh,
Bluto.
I see.
Now they named him after me.
Yeah, I
Um,
see, I see. Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So
your
I kind of got
friend
a soft spot for the old reindeer.
yeah, your friend Bluto, I get it. It's really, as I imagine it, Bluto, it's really like a big blue, like, nutsack spotlight. Is that kind
Mm,
of the idea?
right? Yeah, yeah.
Hey.
See,
And that is some holiday cheer of a special type. Yeah, and so you guys did some test runs. Santa, was he kind of vetoed the spotlight and so like so and what is your day-to-day like what do you do at the North Pole? I mean, what does Bluto do at the North Pole if he's not doing, you know, spotlighting?
well, my friend Bluto, of course, my year
Yeah.
reindeer. He. Sorry, I'm getting all choked up because of the abuse he's been through. He he sits around that thing, does a little nightlight action for old Santa.
Oh,
He
help.
is treated okay. I shouldn't say he's in the worst. There's no
Oh.
show about him. No way. But lighting Santa to the bathroom when he needs to go. When he takes a bath, he's got a big old ballsy blue light for him when he's taking his bathroom breaks. And
Oh, Bluto, I've got to ask. So a few years ago, we actually had Santa on the show, and he confessed that he enjoys bathing with the reindeer. And last year, Dingle made mention that though Dingle sometimes is tasked with scrubbing Santa's bits, he has never had to bathe with Santa. And, Mrs. Claus 2 years ago, she noted that she really prefers that Santa not bathe with the reindeer, but she can't get him to quit. But does Santa force you into the bath?
uh, Santa has a little charisma, a little Christmas charisma, we'll call it. And you don't want to go in with him. It's not so much that he forces me in, but he gets his holly jollies going and his ting tang tinglings ding dangling, and he just he just there's something about it that he's laying in that bathtub and you could see it in his eyes that he really needs a glow. And I just happen to find myself in the bathtub with him is all. I
You
wouldn't
know,
say it's forced, but it's definitely unwanted and in the time.
yeah.
So I end up finding myself in the bathtub and we, give him a little glow.
Do you feel as if Santa uses his magical powers for, let's say, naughtiness to get reindeer, Bluto, or others into that tub? Do you think he's got some nefarious, dare I say, naughty list behavior that's putting reindeer in this position?
Well, when I have my secret conversations with old Bluto, he does express his uncomfortableness with
Yeah.
the situation. I think it's very, very top tier naughty list, as
Yeah.
you say, is he definitely needs to be held accountable for his
Yeah.
holly jolly powers that he has.
Yeah.
He
You know,
definitely needs to be held accountable for some of the actions he's taking against these animals that have no say in the matter.
yeah. I don't know. I assume, but I don't want to. Down here, so I live in these United States. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, which is, depending on the part of it, hell on earth. But down
I
here,
heard
we have yeah, Portland. If you've ever heard of Portland, Bluto, it's a crap hole. But I'm curious, we have this character down here called Spider-Man. Do they have Spider-Man in the North Pole? I assume you guys have probably made a Spider-Man toy or something at some point.
of course, we're much familiar with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
We actually have one called we call her Lucy Goosey. She's got a
No.
or am I
Lucy
thinking of the
Lucy
that
Goosey.
snowman? Sorry, I'm usually locked. My elf that I usually spend time with is usually locked in this closet
Wait,
for most of the year or as a nightlight when I go and help him out, of course I
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Bluto, are you a reindeer?
I should have known this.
You're a reindeer in disguise.
I should have known this crummy costume wasn't coming around, and my antlers don't help either. I was trying to hope to think that was a disguise in itself, but you caught me. Yeah, no, it's me. It's old Bluto himself. I
Blue
couldn't think of a good name to change, so I just went with Bluto Junior. Bluto Senior. But yeah, no, it's me. Now I'm all ramped up. I don't even want to hide the lies anymore.
Yeah. Oh, Bluto. Bluto. Well, Bluto, welcome again for the second time now as a reindeer. Bluto, I was gonna say with the Spider-Man, in here there's this thing where somebody at some point told Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility, and I think maybe somebody needs to pull Santa aside and explain that to him. Like, with great magical power and Christmas cheer comes great responsibility, and maybe he needs to quit, magically soliciting reindeer into the bathtub. I think, I think we're slowly building a case against Santa, the reindeer community, the Mrs. Claus community, and now and the elf community are all kind of coming together. Um, and there's going to be a day of reckoning, and I'm wondering if the time is drawing short for Santa's days on the nice list. Um,
Oh, I sure hope so. Yeah,
yeah,
we need to get this old bugaloot put up and put in handcuffs and what do they call them? They're not called handcuffs. They're called jingle jangles. He needs to
yeah,
get put in them jingle jangles and held off to the downstairs area,
yeah. So
to the
Bluto,
South Pole.
yeah. Oh shoot, lock him up and Santa. I know you're listening because you hear this every year. First of all, I still want presents. Like, I'm not going to say that I don't. But if somebody, Jack Frost, Frosty, the Abominable Snow Thing, if somebody wanted to, facilitate the lockup of Santa Claus, um, maybe we'll have to be in touch. We'll see what we can do. Heavens knows we made Santa diarrhea himself 4 years ago, and maybe we could move things along on this pod again. But I don't want to dwell too much on Santa. Bluto, I want to give you some more opportunity. You're wanting more attention, more, I guess, time in the spotlight, if you will, to shed some light, blue or otherwise, on your story as a reindeer. And you said they locked you in a cupboard during the filming of Rudolph's documentary?
Yes, yeah, I couldn't believe it. It was a nice 6 by 6 little room with I had a little bowl and a pot to piss in, at least a little bowl to
Yeah.
eat, drink. Well, it was God, wasn't even sitting. Was it 5 by 5? But yeah, no, it wasn't nothing for a reindeer space, that's for sure. Especially with my blue balls,
Right.
they need a little more space than that. And I always tried to make a noise if I heard a cameraman walk by, see if somebody could
Yeah,
pick it up. But it seems that I don't know if he put that soundproof barrier on or what have you. But
right.
yeah, I had a little pot right there and some. I graced it with toilet paper, but I didn't
Yeah. Hey,
just
I do have to
it
ask.
wasn't.
I do have to ask since you brought it up. Do you know what type of toilet paper it was? It's, not to turn this thing right back to what we do here on Privy, but what sort of toilet paper were you provided with?
Well, it's kind of funny you mentioned because it wasn't that bad. It was this is I think this is that old man's way of saying, "Oh, I didn't treat him that bad," but it was Cashel. I don't know if you ever heard of Cashel Ultra Comfort. And let me tell you, it was ultra comforting. That was the only comfort I had in that little sack of room that they called a sleeping area or a resting for the big day
Yeah.
room. And yeah, it was called Cashel. Well,
Weird.
no, it was well, that
Is
kind of
that
confused me.
is that like a a North Pole brand, do you think?
North Pole or Canadian? We're pretty close to
Yeah,
Canada
it's probably Canadian.
or
Yeah.
Alaska. It could be America, but I don't think that's really an American brand.
Yeah, I've never fooled around with it down here, but the Canadians, they get up to all sorts of crazy stuff. The trouble is they want to be free, but they can't. And so they invent all sorts of ways to experience freedom, but they never really taste it. That dang queen can't get away from her.
And
But
I have a question for you.
yeah.
You said you were down in Oregon,
Hmm.
Portland, Oregon.
Well, yeah, I'm a bit south of Portland, but it's where everybody knows when they think of Oregon, they think of Portland.
Portland, Oregon. Yeah, you got the famous donut thing there that I might have snuck out a time or two to go get.
Yeah.
Well, I had to sneak out. No, don't tell Santa, even though he's probably listening. But isn't that where all them witch burnings happen? Probably
Uh,
why you're such a hellhole.
in Salem, in Oregon?
Yeah, isn't that where all them witch
Well,
burning things are? I think that's why you might not like the area you live in too much. There might be a little bad residual energy there, my friend.
yeah, I'll give you, Bluto, I'll give you and maybe the listeners a brief history of what I've come. So I'm actually a Montana resident myself. Like I grew up in Montana. I'm a transplant. But what I've learned about Oregon is we really just named everything after everywhere else in the United States. So they named Salem, our capital, after like Salem, Massachusetts, which is where all the witches were burned. But one of the things we do have as a nice sordid piece of our past is we're kind of like pendulum swung because now we've like everybody's running around with rainbow hair and all their stuff. But years and years ago, like we were one of the centers for the Ku Klux Klan here on the West Coast. So it's just like deeply seated racism is the other side of and here we are plopped down in the middle of gay pride and racism. It's just
Mm,
that's kind of our
kind of
what we
ironic.
live in. And I'm just out here trying to make a bathroom podcast and everybody's either getting mad at somebody for the
Well,
color of whatever or the color of their hair, and it's like, huh, that's interesting. I just want to talk about your toilets. No. But yeah, so Oregon, there is definitely some residual energy. I will say there's a lot of witches. They suck on rocks and lick mushrooms, and it's
I bet it sounds like that place is a good place to go get some fruitcake. I'm kind of a
oh
fruitcake
dude,
man myself.
there's street fruit
Being
cake, there's gutter fruit cake, there's welfare fruit cake. I mean, there is every type of fruit cake you can find out here,
I got to go
truly.
explore my options. There's
Yeah.
Santa gave me some of his fruitcake, and I got to tell you,
Every now and then they let fruitcake into places of business and they pay them lots of money sometimes too, just to be fruitcakes. It's kind of crazy. And what's wild
we are
is,
talking about fruit cakes, right? Like,
oh yes,
oh,
yes,
okay, okay.
yes. And what's even crazy is that fruitcake, it just sits there and does nothing. And sometimes it even gets paid to do it. It's baffling.
That's a
It's
good fruitcake.
truly, yeah, dude, oh, to be a fruitcake. You know what I'm saying? Uh, do y'all have much fruitcake up in the North Pole? I assume, like, is
We
that
got a
not
few
where,
fruit.
yeah.
We have a few fruitcake here and
Hey,
there.
hey, hey, and this is a quote unquote safe space, huh? But is Rudolph a little bit of a fruitcake? Like, does he like
He's
to
not.
pretend?
He's had some different cake, but I would
Yeah,
say his cake is mostly fruity. He's got
yeah,
some berries and cherries in that cake of his.
yeah, yeah,
Definitely. He tries to play it off like he ain't, but
yeah. Yeah.
Like he doesn't like he just eats straight. He says he likes that better than sex cake, but he's I've seen him around the corner chewing on a fruitcake.
Yeah.
I've seen it myself when I'm out of that clog or yeah, just
Yeah.
seen dabbling
He's
different
dabbling.
types of fruitcake.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I wonder if, in his wife Clarice, if she's out there and hearing this, Clarice, it's okay. Like you can reach out. Rudolph isn't all he's cracked up to be, I guess is what we're learning on this show.
Oh yeah, yeah. Me and him don't see eye to eye, but
Yeah.
he's yeah.
Bluto, I heard once that during COVID, and I'm assuming y'all got COVID up at the North Pole a few years back. Did y'all end up have going through COVID up there?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We had
Yeah.
a big ordeal up there. Yeah,
So,
what's your
well,
deal on that?
one of the things that came up was, I was told that during COVID, Rudolph, because of his red nose, actually was like not allowed because of Rudolph's red nose during COVID, that he was not allowed to fly and lead Santa's sleigh. Was that like, is that an accurate, the documentary kind of cut off years before COVID and left that part out.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was dark times in because he didn't have his red nose to lead the way. He did get shut down. He had that
Yeah.
run of the COVID era where he got they traced him down. They got a hold of Santa and said, "You can't have that red nose flying around, due to
Right.
COVID.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good. This might be a COVID thing." So he that little reindeer got
Yeah.
he got shut down that year.
He's
Did that old
grounded.
boy?
Yeah,
Yep.
and it makes me wonder, like, did Santa give you a shot? Like that seems like the opportunity for Bluto the blue-balled reindeer to like be in the spotlight.
Yeah, I tried to rustle my way up there and use the old blue bowl telescope or scope spotlight to catch the houses and direct Santa on his way. I can kind of shimmy my way to a spotlight scenario, but just it got shut down. And you want to know
Yeah.
why?
Why is
You want
that?
to know why? It might not be inappropriate. It might be inappropriate for the children.
Yeah, it's
Kids
tough.
look up and they see a thing. Well, them little monkeys are supposed to be asleep, aren't they? They're not supposed to be awake
Right.
when I'm flying around shining my giblets around for Santa's sights. They're like, no, that can't happen. That's still inappropriate. There's still adults that are awake. Well, how they've never seen Santa either, so I'm still
It's
confronted on that a little bit there.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like also like people haven't seen animal like parts. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
if kids have
that,
got pets, they've got, pets got parts.
yeah,
It, yeah, just because they're glowing blue and larger than normal doesn't mean that it's weird.
yeah. And my old blue balls are eager and ready to go. They're ready for some Christmas night action to save the day and be the blue ball reindeer, Bluto. And but I'm ready to shine my light on everybody all
Yeah.
over,
Well,
just to
oh,
have
Bluto.
a little holiday cheer.
Oh,
I
Bluto.
been
I,
been shut
I,
down.
while I want to see you get some action, Bluto, I think the marketing on it is, Bluto, the blue-balled reindeer wants to quote, shine his light on everybody. It might be a little much for some. Maybe, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, had a very shiny nose, like it glows. I'm bad with the lyrics, but I'm trying to wonder if there's a way that we can punch up Bluto the blue ball reindeer. I'm not sure. Have you ever talked to any of the other elves or anything up there to like get their feedback?
Well, I brought it up to him. I had to sit down when I do have a chance to see him, and well, let me tell you, I had a little elf in there. He's still kind of in the works. He was a little guy, and he
Was
was
it Dingle?
interested. Was it Dingle? It might have been Dingle,
Oh,
but
we talked.
anyhow,
Yeah, we
you
talked to
know, and
Dingle last year. Go ahead though, Bluto.
uh, and he kind of he kind of shined a little light. He's like, Rudolph's got that little song. Maybe you need a little jingle. And so he kind of came up with a little script for me, and he goes, but we couldn't steal his song, so we had to switch it up. And we go,
Yep.
Bluto, 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 with the blue balls, go out the sky and light the way. Bluto, Bluto, with your blue balls, go up the sky and light the way. It's just a
Yeah.
catchy little zip. That was
Yeah.
kind of clever.
I
And
think
so I kind of been building off that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot, maybe, and this is something as time goes on, who knows, maybe you'll work your way into the Santa sleigh pack. I'd love to see that for you, but I think our biggest thing is got to convince Santa to chill out with the reindeer baths. Like, because I feel like Bluto, you're going to be stuck in that bathtub with Santa.
Mm.
He doesn't view you as sleigh reindeer. He views you as bathtub reindeer, and we gotta. I think that's gonna be. We're trying to change elf conditions for Dingle, and we're trying to get. Mrs. Claus just wants Santa to chill out with the cookies and cocoa. He's giving him sugar diarrhea, and so maybe we can add this to our list of North Pole things that we want to improve. The lot for I imagine being part of the Elite 8 reindeer on Santa's sleigh is big, but opportunities for other reindeer to join the pack. I think, we've got room to proceed there. But Bluto, I do have a few questions I want to ask. Since you're here, I've got you on the call. I've got to ask. I ask everybody who joins me on the show. Elf, Mrs. Claus, Dracula. We talked to Dracula, if you can believe it or not. He was actually a maniac. I don't think that man is well. But Bluto, I've got some questions that I have to ask. And the first is, and you can, come at it from the perspective of while you're in the bath with Santa, or just in your own Bluto time. Like, Bluto, are you a bar soap or a liquid soap reindeer?
I am a bar soap reindeer. Oh yeah,
boy. Does Santa ever lose the bar soap in the bath when you're in there with him?
he sure absolutely does.
Does he ever do it on purpose, you think? Like, not to be crass, but it seems like that's one of those dirty tricks Santa'd pull where he's like, shoot, Bluto, I lost my soap again.
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, he's a sneaky old jolly old dumb feller. I see him when he's there relaxed, and all of a sudden he has that look in his eye, and then all of a sudden, boop, oh, the soap's gone. Hey,
Yeah.
Bluto, you want to go to the end of that tub there and pick that
Yeah.
old Dove bar of
He's a
soap up?
dove man, huh?
Yeah, he's a Dove man. You would think he'd be a reindeer man, but he loves his Dove.
Yeah. Yeah. He's petting his dove. Bluto, it feels insensitive to ask you, but I ask everybody, how do you feel about baths?
See, since I've been in the spot where I've been for the past, years and whatever you have,
Yeah.
I've been doing this.
Blue ball bathtub light. Yes.
Yeah, blue ball bathtub light. It's no longer fun for me. It's I just don't enjoy the bath times. I'm more of a shower deer now,
Yeah.
instead of a reindeer.
Yeah.
I have to take them showers, and so and it's kind of cool because when it sparkles, the light bounces off my glowing blue balls there, and it kind of makes a cool color. So I kind of enjoy the
Oh, So, but then Bluto, I have that answers the next question is I ask people, do you ever take a shower in the dark? But I suppose maybe you're not able to.
No, I don't use the lights because I am my own light, so I
Yeah.
bother. And it's pretty bright. Like I said, I could use it as a spotlight, so it lights up a room pretty good.
That's wild. When you're just out and about, like on the reindeer town, do you have to wear some sort of like pants or something to cover up the glow while you're out in public? Or is it like,
Yeah, they recommend they finally got me a thermal Under Armour reindeer, so my tail can actually stick out. And the light does not shine through it. It's tight, but it's not
yeah,
uncomfortable. And it's like an
yeah.
Under Armour type thing, but it's not Under Armour branded,
Supportive.
but it's that thing, and that there's a little because my Holly Jollies are so bright, they have an
Right.
extra padding to conceal the light. It kind of works, but I do get a lot of looks like, why is that reindeer wearing that stuff? And they say I have to tell people because to kind of give a
Right.
little
Right.
reason for it, I have to say, well, I got back issues, a little spina bifida. I kind of got to straighten out the back a little bit, so that's kind of the story I
Yeah.
tell them because they have to. I have to hide as
Yeah.
much as I can. Apparently, it
Maybe
can't just be me.
yeah, I can't just maybe to add to the list for the reindeer plight is convincing all the other reindeer to also wear some sort of pants. Like maybe that could help you even edge your way a little closer to Santa's sleigh and being part of the pack. I don't know. I'm just spitballing ideas for freeballing ideas for what could be options for you, Bluto. But Bluto, do you ever have a snack in the bathroom or like, when you're in the bath or I guess it would be the shower, but do you ever have a snack when you're in there?
And yeah, and you know what? Every once in a while, and I'm not going to lie to you, I do take a bath if I'm feeling at it, and if I do, or even in the shower, I have what's called Vlasic pickleballs. You know what
Oh,
Vlasic pickles?
yeah,
But they're like
yeah.
crunchy.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoy
Little
one of
green
them.
balls.
Yep, yep. Because
Okay.
yeah, I think they're good.
Yeah.
I,
Have you ever messed around with the Oots white cheddar snowballs? They're like a little cheese ball, but they're white.
oh yeah, that's more of a bedroom snack there.
Bedroom snack. And then I'm also curious, have you ever just gotten the big tub of orange yellow cheddar cheese balls?
Yep. Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
that's just a common occurrence. That's just a
Right.
regular. That's not a special shower snack. That's
Right.
just
Yeah, that's
when
just
I'm out in the dinner table drinking my coffee and
yeah. Do you
oh,
Bluto, do you prefer ball-shaped snacks?
yeah, I'd never really thought about it before, but yeah, I guess I do.
Hey, that's fine. And pickleballs, they're not my thing, but I know like my wife, she's dabbled in those pickleballs and my kids have tried them. I'm not a pickle guy. I got the tummy flu on some pickles one time and it really set me back. Uh
Mm,
that's a story for another time.
got it.
Um, but Bluto, when you're in the bath or the shower and you have to go, do you get out or do you like have you ever performed a waffle stomp, Bluto?
Doing so that's the good thing about these old hooves of mine. They're pretty good powerhouses. So you know
Yeah.
what? When I am in the shower, I will monster dump and I will
Yeah.
monster stomp.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I want to
That's not
say,
an oddity in
yeah.
my shower.
That's yeah, and that makes sense for a reindeer. You really got to let fly wherever is most convenient.
Mhm.
Do you have a North Pole restaurant that you like to go to, but when you do, it kind of messes up the little reindeer tummy for you?
Yeah, Schlein Dinglings that we
Schlang
have up
dangling.
there. Yep, that's it's kind of a mid-priced restaurant, but you can sit
Yeah.
down, have a good thing. But they have their sloppy cakes there, and they make
Oh
them a little
yeah.
more buttery, and the all that syrup that they use, and the
Yeah.
eggs are kind of runny. But a lot of people complain about it, but
Yeah.
that does me good. I eat that up, but I don't get very far between I make a trail, and you know exactly where I've been. Oofta.
Schlang dangling sloppy cakes. Well,
Yep,
if I if
Schlein
I
Dinglings
ever
floppy cakes.
if I ever make my way to the North Pole, I'm definitely gonna have to give those a try.
Oh,
It
yeah.
it sounds one of a kind. We could say fruit cake, but I often ask people about oranges in the shower. But have you ever eaten an orange in the shower or the bath as if it was an apple? Or have you ever just like gone full bore on some fruit cake while you're in the bath or shower up there?
Oh, yeah, I heard you heard my little spiel on fruitcake. I enjoy a fruitcake here and
Yeah.
there. So, yeah, in the shower, I'll take, one out of Santa's fridge and,
Yeah.
what Miss
Does
Claus
Santa keep lots of fruit cakes in his fridge?
he keeps 1 or 2,
Yeah.
and
He's
he
always
doesn't
got a
like
couple
us.
on hand.
Yeah, he doesn't like to share, so I kind of got to do the little sneaky sneak. And we hear about it. Oh, it's one of you elves took my fruitcake, and like, not me.
Oh, dude,
Um, but
Bluto, we could blame it on Rudolph.
I gotta sneak. I could set it up and make it look like he did it.
This is the path forward. We
Mm.
if we can somehow, this is okay, I've got the new solution. We got to get the elves on it. They've got to be able to manufacture this, but some sort of undergarment that channels the light from your nether region,
Mm.
so it doesn't, like, maybe even if it's just like a little hole, so that way it's like one little light and not just the big shining blue balls. And so we get that in place, and we frame Rudolph for eating all of Santa's fruit cakes. There might be a moment that we could get you leading that sleigh.
Oh, I like this.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
sounds
Well,
good.
I'll have to be in
Yeah,
touch with Dingle and see if he can organize the elves.
let's that
Yeah. Yeah.
into
Well,
play.
Bluto, I've got just like two more questions. The first is, are there any pet peeves that you have related to the bathroom as a reindeer?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
I do. Okay. So first off, I want to start this by saying I have another snack that I have, and this one helps me
Mm.
go regularly. It's called the mixed berried yogurt
Oh
balls.
yeah.
They're another ball fruit
Yeah.
snack, but they're mixed berries wrapped around yogurt, and they're called mixed berry yogis.
Mixed
And they
berry
help me go.
yogis. Okay.
Yep. And so with being a reindeer, I sit there and I get all comfy and I, get all comforted. My biggest deal is sometimes they have an air scent in there, and sometimes it'll be clocked. You know, the ones you can pull open,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it'll be like a little open or all the way open. Them greedy muggarts. These are the elves. I know these are the elves. Maybe not our friend that we were talking about, but I know one of them, and it could be. It could also be Rudolph, and then we could set him up for this too. He leaves the thing at like almost all the way open, but not exactly.
Right.
But you
Right.
always leave like a quarter inch open.
Yeah.
You don't go a full inch or 2 inch open or whatever the diameter is, but it's just a
It's too
fingernail,
much.
like a pinky nail sized open. Like, how hard is it? We've established that it's an unwritten rule. Every time
Right.
you walk in there, it's a quarter inch. But all of a sudden, this one or two that use it, you can never pinpoint which one it is, whether it's
Yeah.
Rudolph, whether it's this other elf I was talking about, or whoever. But after those three use it, it's always they cranks it open. Like,
Yeah.
I know our stuff is gross and stinky, but man, it's fine. Just keep it a quarter, like a
Yeah.
fingernail open. How hard is it?
It's one of those where if you leave it at the little pinprick open, and it's just that slow trickle, if you keep that consistent trickle, it doesn't overpower, And
Exactly. Yep.
something I've found, Bluto, and I think this is wisdom that you've already shared here, is when it comes to bathroom stink, the things that cover bathroom stink, they're best evaluated on how they interact with the stink, not in how much they overpower it. Because if you overpower the smell of turd with just the smell of lilac or whatever,
Mhm.
now I just hate lilac. But if your scent meshes with the poo smell, there's a butter zone. And I think that's kind of what you're getting at is Rudolph. We'll say, why not blame Rudolph? It's probably him. Yeah, Rudolph's probably messing with the butter zone, and he thinks that he needs to overpower it. And my suspicion, and I'm gonna guess, fruitcake scented, right? Like, yeah, it's got to be
Dang.
Rudolph. I know
Ah, you're right.
nobody will. You're the first to tell the truth about Rudolph, Bluto, because I've had this suspicion that Rudolph's kind of a butthole for years, and everybody denies it. They're like, no, he's a really good guy. He saved Christmas. And I'm like, yeah, but he's kind of a butthole, right? And I think we're finally getting to the bottom of some of the trouble that goes on up there.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
No,
if
go
you
for
don't
it,
mind me
please.
acting, if he likes to save Christmas and look good on TV and does all this stuff, when I have a little issue or I need help, why can't he help at home? Why is he helping all around, but not helping with the
Right.
problems that we're having in the North Pole? Seems
Right.
like, oh, that's out of my paycheck. But how is saving the whole world and making the whole world happy on your paycheck? I don't understand that. So I
Yeah.
can't help me get a nice toilet and get a better room, but all the children are in the world are happy. Boy,
Right. Yeah, but we like Rudolph could spend some time making things better for Bluto and the other reindeer.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like me and Vixen, we just
Yeah. Vixen's got it pretty rough.
yeah, she's got a spotlight that people like about her, but you should see how she's treated behind the scenes. I relate with her the most. She's got a good heart, that Vixen, but boy, when he's got Rudolph is when the people around he's got a good like happy go Jerry, but
Yeah.
me
He
and
puts on a pretty good show.
yeah, he's put it on a good show because when we get around him, he kind of puts his eyes down and walks off. He gives us a little
Yeah.
head nod, but kind of goes on about his way.
Yeah.
Well,
He kind of grouch
no,
couches you.
yeah, that's a good word
Well,
for it.
Bluto, you know, I I imagine that they're going to discover that you've tapped into this line. So before you have to go, I want to ask, do you as a reindeer have any bathroom wisdom that you want to leave the masses with, or maybe it's just a message for those who would hear this, not related to the bathroom, but just related to your plight as the blue-balled reindeer?
Not just when stuff is hard, when stuff seems to get you can't really push it out and you just feel
Yeah,
like you're in a tough spot, just keep pushing.
right,
And if you feel like you're disrupting anyone's life, push through it. Just keep
right.
no matter how stuck it seems, just don't give up. Just keep pushing. And it'll eventually come out of the gutter
Yeah,
eventually.
yeah. It'll
That's
come flying right out of the chute eventually.
yeah, yep. Don't give up. That's my prize. I haven't hit my my situation's still stuck, but I'm still pushing. And I feel
Yeah,
like I'm gonna get my good rewards,
yeah.
my rewards one of these days. You know how it is.
Do you think that Santa's putting you on the naughty list, like, just because, or, like, I don't know, I'm trying to
I feel
figure
like
out.
Santa just I'm kind of taking a deep dive here, but I feel like Santa doesn't really put human emotion into us. Even though we speak and I don't think he really understands us reindeer
Yeah.
as valid lives.
Yeah,
He
okay,
likes
well,
reindeer and he favoritism, what's his name? Rudolph.
yeah,
He favoritism just because he did a big plight and made a big convenience for him. But as part of his other ones, it seems like he just, oh, you're a reindeer. You don't have any feelings.
like, "Come on, get in my bath," you know?
Yeah, get in here, but he doesn't really have emotional attachment, I don't think. It's like
Mm,
anyone who has like, I have a cat, and I love
yeah,
that thing. I've never had him with the thing, but he just has a
right.
very I don't know,
Yeah,
just not there.
yeah,
Spiritually, I should say.
yeah. Santa, I think you're headed for the naughty list if you're listening. I still want gifts, but, like, I think you're headed to the naughty list. Uh,
I don't want any gifts from Santa anymore. I think he's tainted. His gifts are tainted.
Tainted gifts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're tainted.
Uh-oh. You hear that, kids? No.
This might be the years of pent up frustrations coming out of me, and I might get a padding on later on, but I gotta say, I'm hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Bluto, I'm sorry that things are so tough for you there in the North Pole. I will admit we will try to figure out what we can do. The tough part is here on Privy Christmas, we're almost a full year away, and we've got a lot going on the show coming up, and so we will work on it behind the scenes, but just hang in there and see if Dingle's around, and we'll see what we can do for you, Bluto. But Bluto, I appreciate you hopping on the show and sharing everything that's going on for you.
Oh yeah, no problem. I'm glad you willingly let me on here. I know you were joking about me hacking the system, but I was absolutely for anybody out there in the big FBI scene or
Yeah.
whoever runs the stuff. But this was just a big gang. I was absolutely didn't do any hacking to get on here or hack any codes or break any firewalls.
Yeah.
We
Yeah. Yeah,
just
it's
had to
weird.
get my saying out. And
Yeah, it's
yeah,
weird. My computer's had an error code on the no, I'm just kidding, Bluto. But
that wasn't me. That was Rudolph.
yeah, that's right. I guarantee it was Rudolph. He's trying to get access to American Netflix. No, but Bluto, I'm gonna close out the show real quick, and I do that every time by reminding everybody to keep pooping in the free world. That free world was not always free. Wash your butthole, and maybe it's Christmas Day, but as you look up into the sky this today, and as the week goes on into the maybe keep an eye out for maybe that little blue glow in the distance. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe it's our friend Bluto here. But this brings us to the end of another episode of Privy. Keep pooping in the free world. Own your stank. And now, as always, don't forget to flush.
And then I just cram it right back here.
All right. Bye, Bluto.
Bye.